the other side to accept so that it wouldn't be necessary to prove it or to argue it anymore. So in this case, there were no stipulations made either, meaning to say neither party had anything that they wanted the other party to admit or to accept as given fact. No? After that, after we went through those three sections, ayun, nagsabi na yung ating yung Comelec that there are still pending incidents, right? Pending incidents here refers to the motions for intervention, yung petition in intervention, as well as the motion for oral arguments. Sabi ng Comelec, since these things are still pending, we will wait until they are resolved before we give you the period for filing your memoranda. So waiting muna tayo. Again, this is in contrast to what we expected in the beginning, where we told you that after the preliminary conference, they would be given 3 days to submit their memoranda. Hindi po mangyayari muna ngayon yon because meron ngang pending motions, no? May pending incidents. Once that's resolved, then we'll talk about the setting of the period for filing their memoranda. After that, the preliminary conference was concluded for this particular case. Although nagtutuloy-tuloy pa siya for other cases, if I'm not mistaken.
Director, right? Did I get it right, Director? Earlier, you said po, sir, that the period for the parties to file their respective memoranda may be adjusted. It may not be 3 days for each, for both of them because of the nature of the case, may petition and intervention, etc. Tama po ba yung dinig ko, sir?
Well, not entirely accurate, no? Yung effect ng pending incidents is to push back the time when we will tell them to submit their memoranda, right? So dahil nga may pending incidents tayo, hindi muna tayo nagpapasubmit ng memoranda.
And sir, when you mentioned po, sir, yung statement of issue, the presentation of the statement of issue, tama po ba intindi ko, sir, these are the parties basically stating their respective positions at the outset before the other issues or the other steps took place, sir, like in second, third, etc.
Yes, yeah. Yan yung una. Yan yung una. And the purpose of issue statements is for them to inform the division what they feel the main issue is, di ba? Kasi parang meron silang allegation pero ano ba talaga yung ano yung talagang kailangan i-resolve diyan, basically. That's what they're telling the division. So it's one for each. Could be the same, it could be different. I can't, of course, discuss it now, but ganun yun. Just a solicitation of that position. Walang ruling kanina regarding which one to use or whatever, no? So sinabi lang na ito yung sa tingin namin ang crux ng issue. And the other side nagbigay din.
Thank you, Director.
Okay. Are there any
Sir,
other questions?
Sir, we have 3 questions po from the chat box. One is from Miss Ella Herminio. Ang context po, sir, ng question is regarding po dun sa issues na hinihintay na ma-resolve for the SPA 21156. Will these procedures affect the release of the final list of candidates slated next month?
Not expected to, no.
Ayan, sir. Then the second question, sir, is from Christian Manyo of DZRH. Can you expect na lalabas yung resolution before the release of list of candidates and printing of ballot?
Posible pa rin. Posible pa rin.
With a follow-up question, sir, kung kailan daw po kaya ang next na hearing or conference po?
Wala na. For this particular case, wala na. This is it.
Wala na. Then, okay, sir. So then, okay, sir. Then the next question, sir, is from Sir Gregorio of TV5. But would it be possible to have an unbanked decision? Same question, sir, as Christian's. before the December 15 target to release the official list?
Posible pa rin. Cannot foreclose that possibility. But again, hindi natin alam, no? But it is possible pa rin.
Okay, sir, another question, sir, from John of ABS-CBN News. Sir, do you have any idea what's taking the division so long to decide on the petition in intervention which was filed 20 days ago?
For the most part, I expect that they want to see the answers and in the context of the petition. Diba? Magbabanggain nila yan eh. And that's when they'll make the decision.
Sir, another question from Sir Ivan John. Sir, pa-clarify po, not sure if tama po ang dinig ko kanina, dalawa po yung motions for intervention sa Benefe et al. Case. If yes, ano po yung isang petition aside from the Bautista motion?
There's a motion for intervention and then there's the petitioner in intervention din. So dalawang interventions. Basically, two groups are trying to join.
Sir, questions po from Melissa of CNN and Miss Ina Reformina of ABS-CBN. Sir, both Commissioners Ko and Tingba were present during the virtual pre-con, and if the respondent, Bongbong Marcos, was also present in the virtual conference.
No, this was entirely their councils. Wala yung division dito, but this council were representing their individual clients. The clients themselves were not there.
So there's those. Sir, may pahabol na question si Melissa. Go ahead, Melissa.
Sir, tanong ko lang, sino yung second petitioner in intervention? Apart from the Calleja group?
I don't have that information right now. Ito lang ang information.
Basta sir, dalawa.
Kasi nga yan pending yan. Oo. Pag nag-grant.
Sir, has there been an oral argument in the Comelec level before? Kasi nakikita ko, sir, parang mostly sa Supreme Court siya nangyayari.
Kasi sa Supreme Court, tawag nila doon oral arguments. Dito sa Comelec, hearing lang, clarificatory hearing lang ang tawag. And yes, there have been
pwede kang magpunta up. Alright, sir. Thank you.
Sir, we have another follow-up question from Sir Joseph before we proceed with the other questions from the chat box. Sir Joseph, go ahead po.
Sir, walang order from the second division to both parties?
Wala.
Okay. So parang yung mga motion, parang pwede naman na lang decide na yung oral argument today, di ba? I mean, yung hearing, hindi pa rin nila, no?
Hindi nila ginawa.
Walang discussion about it, sir?
What do you mean discussion about it?
I mean, bakit?
Kasi, remember, these are just the parties, ha? Wala dito yung division, wala dito yung commissioners. So, you would not expect to hear a discussion of it here.
So, ibig sabihin, sir, parang, ano ba to? COS lang? Or sino yung on behalf of the second division yung marap?
Wala. Ano lang to eh. This is procedural nga, di ba? And this was actually followed by marking of evidence. So this is all pre
parang technical lang. Pre-trial, parang ganon.
Parang ganyan, parang pre-trial, yes.
Okay, sir. Sige po. May questions for later, pero I'll reserve it later.
Sige. Okay lang. Chat box, Sean?
Sir, we have chat box question, sir. Another follow-up question po from Sir Ivan John of Vera Files. Procedural question po. May pinadala po kayong overview of handling cancellation cases a few days ago sa Viber group. There were 4 steps. Same din po ba yung steps sa handling of disqualification cases?
Yes. Pre-conference kasi lahat yan. So it's the same thing.
So then another, sir, from Dwight of Rappler. Sir, sino yung petitioners dun sa second, I think nasagot natin Sir James to kanina, yung second petitioner sa intervention case, sa benefit case natin. Then another follow-up question, sir, from Sir Ivel John. Aside from Marcos Jr., may other presidential aspirant ba na may kinakaharap na cancellation or DQ cases ngayon?
Meron ba? Wala ata. Wala ata. Balikan natin yung kay Dwight, ha? We will get the information on the interventions and post it like this, ha? Para kompleto din yung information natin. We'll get it today. Sensya na, Dwight.
Yan. So that's on record po. Any other questions po before we wrap up? Any other questions from the... Okay, go ahead, Sir Joseph. Then Miss Ina after Miss Sir Joseph.
Sige, si Ina na muna. Baka Marcos related. Sa akin, sir, yung sa ano... Yung
Other
something.
matters.
Okay.
Other matters to Sir James.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Ina, you wanna go ahead?
Sir, kayo na po muna, Sir Joseph. Sir Joseph.
Sir, yun lang sa campaign, no? Just have a few notes. Yun pong distribution, may mga restrictions dun sa campaign, no? For example, bawal yung mga selfie at saka yung mga pagpapa-picture malapit sa kandidato. And this is very common occurrence. And also yung pagbibigay ng mga food and water and all the other stuff. This is kind of practiced already, no? Pero paano, sir, yan? Una muna, why did we put that as a restriction? And number two, do you think you really can prevent it?
It was placed as a restriction because it really is just a logical conclusion of the social distancing idea, right? Hindi ka pwedeng dumikit kasi nga social distancing dapat, 'di ba? Para hindi tayo magkahawa-hawa. Ano ba yung mga instances na dumidikit yung mga tao? Yan yung makikita mo dyan. Shaking hands, hugs, etc., selfies. So yun yung pinatanggal natin. Can we prevent it?
Realistically implement it.
Yeah, we can implement it because implementation basically says, you announce that it's bawal and then you expect everyone to comply. Will there be violations? Probably. Will we be able to spot those violations? Definitely, because we have deputized barangay tanods, di ba? To pay attention to these things para ma-report nila yan. That's part of the reporting process.
Okay. Tapos, sir, dun po sa may meron kasi na mga limitations, right? Yung mga 50%, 70%. And when I went through yung ano to, sobrang lamig lang dito, sir, sa press office. Sandali. Super North Pole. Anyway.
Kasi nag-iisa ka lang ata dyan.
Hindi, sir, marami kami. Oh. See?
Oh, all right.
The press corps is here.
Nice.
Sir, ganito, nakalagay dun sa level 2, 50% outdoor and indoor pwede. Ngayon, sa level 3, nakalagay lang 50% ng enclosed outdoor level, outdoor sa level 3 and 30% ng outdoor. Ibig sabihin, sir, pag level 3, bawal ang indoor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me check the copy then.
So, ang outdoor lang is indoor sa level 2.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Alright. So, bawal yung mga indoor pagka 4 and 5. Tapos, sir, di ba, sir, yung CCC natin will defer or will just adapt yung IATF guidelines. IATF is set by the national government, sir, no?
Yeah. Yes.
So, do you see, sir, na parang, baka magamit yung mga community quarantine ng kung sino man to prevent, for example, yung mga kalaban nila sa politika na wag makapagawa ng, halimbawa, meeting de avance or mga rallies?
Okay. When we say that the category levels defer to the IATF, that means basically that IATF will have the resources and the authoritativeness to say kung safe ba o hindi, right? So that's very important. No, we don't want campaigns to be a cause for any surge come election time. Is there a possibility that it can be used by certain persons? Yes, absolutely. Kaya nga meron tayong kaya nga merong may decision making power pa rin yung CCC, di ba? I mean, it's well within the CCC's authority to declare whether or not safe naman doon sa lugar na yon. Because even declarations from the IATF are subject to motions for reconsideration. So, posible pa rin yan. Mapoprotektahan pa rin naman.
What will prevail is the CCC.
Yes.
Okay. Last na lang, sir. Again, yung question nung nandun tayo sa physical hearing. February 8, sir, yung campaign period, and itong mga restrictions na to will be effective on that date lang. Pero yung February 8 is way into yung from now to February 8, marami nang pwedeng mangyari, di ba, ng mga activities. So wala pa tayong hold on it, no?
Wala talaga. And again, since we're asking that question, I will reiterate that this does not mean that this is lawless. This is a period of lawlessness, because right now they are under the ambit of existing authorities, just not election authorities, but under the ambit of regular authorities. So kung manghuhuli ka ng pedestrian kasi walang mask, pwede mong gawin yan doon sa politiko. Pwede mong gawin yan sa rally.
Okay, sir. Sige po. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Joseph. Sir, meron lang tayong question sa chat box. Kung wala po yung... Miss Ina. Go ahead, Miss Ina.
Yung chat box na lang.
Okay po. Sir, kung wala po yung second division commissioner, sino po ang nag-preside sa preliminary conference? This is from Sir Marlon Ramos of Inquirer po.
Yung ano ba siya? ECAD yun eh. Election Contests and Adjudication Division. They're the ones that clerk for the divisions. So, think of it this way. Hindi kasama yung judge. Nandun lang yung clerk niya. Parang ganyan.
Thank you, sir. Sir, for other matters, Miss Ina, go ahead po.
Director, regarding the rules for the conduct of raffle for placement of the party list groups on the ballot, sir, is this the first time, sir, that we are having the physical raffle, and yet the witnesses, observers, the party list groups themselves, including members of the media, are only allowed to witness or observe via online platform or virtually, Director? And is this not the first time na gumamit naman tayo ng software for the raffle itself, sir, for the randomized raffle?
Okay. Number one, it's not the first electronic raffle. So nagawa na natin before na electronic. Number two, this is the first time that we have virtual witnesses, because prior to the pandemic, wala namang, I mean, we didn't know that we could do that, right? And we certainly didn't feel the need for it. So ngayon lang natin gagawin tong with virtual witnesses.
And sir, let me also clarify, sir, a portion in the rules na if the party list group fails to acknowledge verbally and via the Microsoft form, sir, or consent to the placement in the raffle, ultimately the consequence is that they will be placed on the last of the list in alphabetical order, meaning to say the consent verbally and via Microsoft form is a requirement, sir, for the final placement or listing on the ballot?
Yes, basically to lock in their place on the ballot.
And this is not the first time also, sir. Meron talaga tayong ganito, sir, yung formal acceptance and acknowledgement, Director.
Let me check kung dati requirement yan, kasi dati nandun sila eh. So I suspect that this is one of those things na dahil nga virtual na ngayon, and it'll be very easy to basically skip that part if you're not physically present. That's why it's been made more stringent requirement.
Ano na lang point, Director, regarding this resolution, sir, for soundbite purposes, those with still pending incidents or who are able to obtain a status quo ante-order from the Supreme Court may still be included, provided that they may be excluded if there will be a ruling na, not the status quo, sir, yung ibang pending registration and accreditation MRs will be ruled after the raffle.
Right. Even if you're not accredited with finality, which means that there is still a possibility that you might not get accredited, you can still participate in this raffle if you filed a manifestation of intent to participate and you haven't been disqualified, obviously. However, what this means is that even if you do get a place on the ballot, if you are later on determined to be not qualified to participate, you can still be removed, right? So what will happen to your number? Your number, your spot on the list will essentially be filled by someone else, but the numbers will not change. So, kunyari, you have party list 1, 2, 3, 4. Na-disqualify si 3, aakyat si 4 dun sa physical placement sa ballot, but the number will be 1, 2, 4. Isi-skip yung 3 kasi nawala ka. Okay? Hindi magbabago yung numbering, magbabago yung physical placement. Siyempre, ayaw naman natin yung balotang bungi-bungi, di ba? So, we will adjust the physical placement of the names, but the numbers will not change. Okay? So again, in our example, if you have party lists 1, 2, 3, and 4, natanggal si 3, the final list will look like 1, 2, 4. Right? Instead of 1, 2, blank, 4, tatanggalin mo yung blank, lagyan mo yung 4, 1, 2, 4. Okay?
Thank you, Director. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you po. Sir, we have Sir Dante Amento. Sir Dan.
Hello po, Director. Magandang hapon po.
Oh, Dante.
Opo. Clarification lang po, Director, para pwede ba rin naming sabihin na kahit na may intervention pa at saka oral arguments na need po na i-resolve, itong case na ito ay deemed submitted for a resolution na o hindi pa po?
Hindi pa po. Hindi pa po. Kasi yung sasabihin nating deemed submitted for resolution, this is after we receive their memoranda. Kumbaga parang naka-post tayo ngayon, no? Hihintayin muna natin ma-resolve yung mga pending motions, pending incidents, and then magre-require tayo ng submission of memoranda. After the memoranda have been submitted, then it is deemed submitted for resolution.
Thank you po, Director, for the clarification.
You're welcome.
Okay, sir. We are on our last 3 questions, sir. May we have Sir Marlon of Inquirer. Sir Marlon, go ahead.
Sir, magandang hapon po.
Gandang hapon.
Sir, just regarding the resolution number 10732, this resolution may still be challenged by political parties and candidates, sir.
Yan ba yung Fair Elections Act na ARR?
Yung latest resolution, sir, na nilabas, na promulgate kahapon.
107.
32. Yung guidelines, sir, sa mga election-related activity.
Yes, pwede. Hindi naman challenge. Well, anyone can write to the Comelec, no, about regulations or provisions that they object to para ma-actionan natin.
So sa NBank, sir, yung
isasulat to the Commission and Bank, yes.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir, for our last 2 questions is from Ival John Santos. Sir, first question is additional question lang po ulit, sir, regarding the procedures sa cancellation and disqualification cases. Halimbawa lang po, granted yung isang petition laban kay Marcos Jr., saan po file ng motion for reconsideration ang Marcos Jr. camp? Sa division pa rin po or didiretso na sa unbank? Then the second question, sir, is another scenario po related din sa handling of the cases. Paano po if hindi mag-prosper yung isang petition against Marcos Jr., can the petitioner still appeal the decision? The first one, sir, na question is kapag yung petition ay granted against Marcos. Yung second naman, sir, is petition against Marcos did not prosper. So saan daw po magpa-file ng MR, sir?
Una-una, for a decision of the division, the appeal is to the NBank, right? Pag nasa NBank na, so again, NBank, right? Decision of the division, akyat yan sa NBank on appeal. The decision of the NBank, of course, can still be challenged sa Supreme Court through various channels. No? Pwedeng as an appeal or mistaken as a petition for certiorari.
So both sir, no? Sir, may follow-up question lang si Dwight, last na to. Possible ba sir makahingi sa Comelec ng copy ng refiled disqualification case ng Ilagan Camp as well as the second motion for intervention in the Benefe et al. Case?
Hindi pa nararaffle yung Ilagan. So wala pa tayo. In fact, lahat dito wala tayong kopya, di ba? Kasi nga
None, sir.
rule ng Comelec, hindi pwedeng ibagay yung pleadings. Right?
Yeah. Sir, may hinihingi pong list si Sir Joseph, yung list daw po ng party list enumerated yesterday.
Pag naglabas na ng ruling yung ating executive director, na-request na yan. Na-request na yan, Joseph. All right?
So that's it, sir. Thank you very much po.
Thank you very much.
The recording will be sent po, after 30 minutes. Thank you po. Bye-bye.
sir.
Happy weekend, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Happy weekend, everybody.
Happy weekend.
Thank you po.